How are you everybody? How are you today? This is the first lecture in this semester related to our course sampling survey. This is the first lecture for third year English section Banha University 2020. Sampling surveys. This is the name of our course in this semester for the third year English section in Banha University. An introduction to sample survey. The first lecture related to an introduction to sampling survey. What is the meaning of sampling survey? What is the advantages of sample survey? What is the disadvantages of sample survey? If the sample survey is very important or not, we will see this in this lecture. We will start our lecture by full enumeration. What is the meaning of full enumeration? Full enumeration means census, the complete enumeration. A complete enumeration of the population under study can overcome many of the disadvantages associated with sample surveys and yield reliable information about the whole population, but at maximum cost. So we want to achieve, as we stated in the lecture, the minimum cost, but full enumeration related to the maximum cost. In a population census, the objective is to collect data in relation to every member, to everybody, to everyone in every one item in the population under study. What are the advantages of full enumeration? The advantages of full enumeration or complete enumeration or census data will be truly representative of the whole of the population. So when we take all the population, it may be all information must be truly because we take the whole population. This is the first advantages of full enumeration. What is the second advantage of full enumeration? The second advantages of full enumeration, data are generally available at a high levels for small geographic areas or subsets of the population. Thus, detailed cross tabulations are possible, i.e. age, by sex, by county of birth, and so on. We can find all information about the population. This is why, because we take all the item, all the persons, all the population under study. Number 3, benchmark data may be obtained for further studies. For example, a census of retail establishments may yield data on stocks, turnover, or employment. This can then be used to determine a suitable sampling frame or list of the members of a population or group for future surveys. For example, a survey of retail floor space or of part-time, full-time employment, so that all data available so that we can take many decisions. This is the advantages of full enumeration. The main disadvantages of full enumeration of census are: resources cost a large, the cost very high, both in staff and monetary terms. The second disadvantage of full enumeration, the number of questions asked has to be kept as small as possible so as to minimize both the reporting burden on data providers and the cost. We can't minimize the cost in full enumeration. In full enumeration, the cost must be very high. It may be difficult to approach all members of the population within a reasonable time. It may be difficult to obtain all members, to survey all members of the population within a reasonable time. The last disadvantages of full enumeration, processing time is slow. So the results may become available too late to be useful. A lot of time, a lot of cost. The available data must be late to be used by statisticians, by politicians, by decision makers. A full enumeration, this is a summarization about a full enumeration. A full enumeration of the target population may be a very large project with associated logistical problems. This can lead to errors in the resultant data, in the final data, in the output that could be avoided in a smaller survey. So that a smaller survey can yield small errors, but the whole enumeration must be related to a big errors. Thus, a small survey conducted efficiently may result in higher quality result than a full-scale census and a complete enumeration where available resources can be stretched too far. Now, in a sample survey, this is the main important in our semester, in our course sample survey. In a sample survey, only a subset of the total population is approached for information on the topic under study. On the population under study, these data are then expanded or weighted to represent the target population as a whole. The main advantages of sample surveys included resources costs are generally significantly lower than for a census, so that we can achieve a low minimum cost. More or more detailed questions can be asked. You can obtain more information. Number 3, results can be available for more quickly. These advantages must be added to the all advantages we explained in the lecture when we talk face to face in the faculty. But now, the major disadvantages of sample survey. Sample survey has a more advantage and some disadvantage, a small disadvantage. Data may not be representative for the total population because I can't take all the population. So that data may not be representative of the total population, particularly where the number of respondents is small, the number of items is small. Finally, classified data, small area data are generally not available. The small area, we can't take the small area because maybe there is a burden to go to the small areas, so that this is the maybe only the disadvantages of sample surveys. Summary of our lecture. All students must know that all online lecture related to the theoretical part of sampling and lecture in the faculty face-to-face related to the mathematical part of this course sampling survey. The first task to be undertaken is in planning any research project is to define clearly the aims and objectives. You must determine your aims and your objectives. Knowing the target population, what information is required and how it is going to be used are essential if the researcher is to make an informed evaluation of the alternative methods available for collecting it. The remainder of the publications assumes that a survey is the most appropriate method for gathering the required information and discuss a range of issues associated with the collecting and analyzing the survey data. So that you must know your aims, you must know your target, you must know how we can use the information. This information related to politicians, related to decision makers, related to what? You must take your time in planning the survey to achieve, to gain a more and more effective information from the sampling survey process. Thank you for everybody. See you in the next lecture in the faculty and on the faculty website. Thank you for everybody.